Announcement.
Yes, honourable members, just a brief announcement. The Honourable Chief Whip sent a letter to me, which I just received. I haven't had time, it's a long letter, haven't had time to study in depth what she said to me, so I propose to take time, check the standing orders and reply in due course. Also, the Honourable Member, Mr. Duval, has informed me that he wants to raise a point of order, and I would suggest if we may go through the P&Q first, and then you can raise your point of order. Is that all right? Everybody happy? As far as can be? Okay.
Papers have been laid. Question.
Yes, Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Madam Speaker, I've given notice of the following private notice question addressed to the Honourable Minister of Local Government, whether in regard to the setting up of night markets for the festive season 2025, he will, for the benefit of the House, obtain information as to the A, criteria and procedures applicable for the allocation, withdrawal or refusal of permits to street vendors, therefore. B, sites identified, therefore, indicating the measures taken to ensure safety during the operation hours. C, consultations, if any, held with organizations or representatives of hawkers, shop owners and market traders. D, estimated number of hawkers who will operate at the different locations. And E, list of hawkers to whom a permit has been allocated, indicating their respective addresses and fees payable therefore. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes.
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, with your permission, I shall reply to the PNQ. Madam Speaker.
Have I been, one moment, have I been informed that Minister of Housing was going to reply to this question? We received it just now. So you are all going to talk in a sitting position. Honourable Leader, please. Let him answer. Yes.
Since I take note of the interruptions, but there has been no point of order raised. I stand here. Madam Speaker, he has not even raised a point of order. Is he going to keep on vociferating? Well, are you afraid of my answers?
May I? May I?
Not at all.
Standing Order 22-4. Standing, Honourable Leader, please. Standing, please. Deputy Prime Minister, please. Please. I was saying that Standing Order 22-4 allows a transfer of a PQ with any minister. So we have been informed. I wasn't personally informed, but it seems that the clerk was informed. So there's no problem. Let him reply. You can put your supplementary questions. Minister, please.
Madam Speaker, I thank you for clarifying this point. So as I was saying, I note he's still sulking, but doesn't matter. I shall reply to the PNQ since specifically I chaired the 5 interministerial committee meetings and my colleague, Honourable Witchett, who is the Minister of Local Government, was also present in some of the meetings. The policy of this government, Madam Speaker, is to provide leisure and cultural activities in main towns and villages at night, especially in Port Louis, the capital, during the festive seasons. Now, in addition to democratize the economy, it has been proposed that new proponents be allowed to trade temporarily during this festive season, as from the 12th of December 2025 up to the first week of January 2026. For this year, as mentioned earlier, it was generally felt that temporary trading should be allowed, however, in a disciplined and organized manner. An interministerial committee has indeed been set up by government to look into the management of the matter during this festive season, possible measures to allow them to operate without disrupting normal economic activities and operations and compromising safety and security aspect of both the public and occasional traders. The committee has had discussions, established general guiding principles under which the traders would be allowed to ply temporarily during that particular period. The committee composed of myself as chair, the Honourable Minister of Environment, the Honourable Minister of Youth and Sports, the Honourable Minister of Labour and Industrial Relations, Honourable Minister of Land and Transport, Honourable Minister of Commerce and Consumer Protection, Honourable Minister of Industry, SME and Cooperatives, the Honourable Minister of Local Government, and the Junior Minister of Local Government. The meetings were also attended by Lord Mayors, chairpersons of councils, as well as their respective chief executives and representatives of the Mauritius Police Force, Mauritius Fire and Rescue Services, Traffic Management and Road Safety Unit, Ministry of Health and Wellness, and other relevant authorities. All of those authorities were requested to prepare proposals in consultation with elected members of the National Assembly of the respective constituencies, as well as members of the local authorities, elected members of the local authorities. Only occasional traders residing in the jurisdiction covered by the local authority would be allowed to operate therein. The local authorities were to carry out either an expression of interest or invitation amongst previously surveyed occasional traders to this end. Occasional traders would be allowed to operate against payment of the daily prescribed fee, and the number of occasional traders would be controlled and not be allowed to increase exponentially. An occasional license would be granted in line with the relevant legislation and regulations. The daily rate would vary between 150 and 500 rupees, as requested by the respective local authorities themselves. It has been also decided that the fee would be would allow the local authorities to meet the expenses regarding scavenging service, toilet facilities, hoarding, enforcement measures, additional lighting facilities, amongst others. And if ever there were any shortfall, it would be met, the cost would be met by the local authorities from their own internally generated revenue and will have no financial implication to government. Madam Speaker, it was also decided that occasional traders would be provided with a badge, temporary, for that particular period. That would ease enforcement by local authorities and the Mauritius Police Force. There would be uniform structures. There would also be, that would be erected by the hawkers at their own costs to accommodate their wares. Scavenging and cleaning would be carried out on a daily basis immediately after the end of operations by each local authority, either through in-house labor or outsourced service. The Mauritius Police Force we've obtained their collaboration and for maintaining law and order and for managing smooth movement of pedestrians and traffic, especially to avoid traffic congestion. The Mauritius Police Force would also ensure regular patrols. All the authorities, namely local authorities, the Mauritius Police Force, Fire and Rescue Services, and other authorities I made reference to earlier, would also be involved in the whole management of the process. With regards to Part A of the question, Madam Speaker, occasional licenses for street vendors operating in the relevant jurisdiction are issued by the respective local authorities in accordance with the Local Government Act of 2011 and specific operational guidelines approved for the festive period. All local authorities launched expression of interest, inviting applications from interested parties within its own jurisdiction to trade at designated locations decided by the specific local authorities. All applicants are issued with an acknowledgement receipt Note, only one application per person is authorized for sale of either haberdashery or cooked food. At the closing date, the bid box is opened by the officers of the Health Department of the Council in presence of an internal auditor and representative of the Chief Executive. This exercise is followed by the counting of the number of applications received, allocation of a reference number to each application, screening of application forms, and determination of eligibility of applicants in line with the preset eligibility criteria in the expression of interest by the officers of the Health Department. A counter verification of the eligibility is done by another team to ensure objectivity, fairness, transparency, and equity. Subsequently, eligible applications are subject to drawing of lots in the presence of a senior usher of the Supreme Court, 2 members of the press, a representative of the police force, of the police for the City Council, the District Court for other councils, and internal auditors of the Council. Reference numbers assigned to eligible candidates are placed in one ballot box. The second ballot box contains the space to be allocated to the eligible candidates. During the drawing of lots, one reference number is drawn from the first ballot box together with the space number for the second ballot box. The procedure is aligned with the guidelines for allocation of stalls by local authorities, which has been issued by the former ICAC. I shall also table it if the Honourable Leader of the Opposition requests a copy. It is to be highlighted that 18 long-standing traders operating along SSR Street were exempted from the drawing of lots as decided by the Interministerial Committee and approved by Cabinet. As regards to the local authorities, I'm informed that the allocation of occasional licenses is still in process. I wish to inform the House that the occasional licenses has not been provided where the applicant does not meet the residency or eligibility criteria, is under the age of 18, has submitted an incomplete application form, has not submitted the supporting documents, and the proof of address could not be verified or established. I will also be tabling a copy of the conditions of the undertaking the traders signed with the Council. I wish to emphasize here that the occasional traders should operate within the approved sites and during the authorized hours. As to Part B of the question, Madam Speaker, the Interministerial Committee agreed that one-size-fits-all approach would not be adopted. And as towns and villages have different characteristics, each local authority has therefore identified specific sites suitable for day or night markets based on safety, accessibility, and urban management considerations. I will also, Madam Speaker, table the sites identified in the jurisdiction of each local authority. Madam Speaker, with regards to Part C of the question, I have to inform the House that some shop owners' associations have made representations at the level of the Ministry of Local Government in respect of illegal hawking in different jurisdictions. My colleague, the Honourable Minister Wuchit, has chaired several meetings with these associations to look into the complaints. Consequently, further consultations have been carried out through interministerial committee meetings, engagement with mayors, chairpersons, and chief executives of local authorities, representations received from shop owners, market traders, particularly in areas previously affected by congestion, such as SSR Street. Some local authorities have, at their level, held consultations with relevant associations and stakeholders. These consultations aimed to ensure that occasional traders' livelihood are considered, legal businesses are not unfairly impacted, and public order, sanitation, and safety are preserved. The relocation of occasional traders to designated temporary market areas, including a night market at Portree, was specifically intended to address complaints from shop owners and market vendors while maintaining economic activity during the festive season. With regards to Part D, Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that the number of vocational traders authorized to operate is determined by the capacity of the designated sites. I am advised that some 750 occasional traders, excluding shop owners, will operate at different locations of Mauritius, except for Mocha and Black River District Council. I will also table, as requested by the Leader of the Opposition, a list of those who will be plying their trade within those jurisdictions, their names and addresses as requested. With regards to part E of the question, as I'm informed earlier in my reply, not all local authorities have completed the exercise, and in some of them it's still ongoing, such as in the Municipal Council report of Cupid. As regards Rivière du Rempart, no application has been received, and for district of Pamplemousse, only one application has been received. I wish, Madam Speaker, to reiterate that the daily fees vary from 150 to 500 rupees, depending on local authorities. I am therefore, Madam Speaker, tabling all documents requested. So that is with regards to part A, part B, part C, and part E of the question.
Are we done? Yes, your supplementary. I'm sorry, we are receiving documents at the same time.
Madam Speaker,
Carry on for your
first of
first.
all, I strongly protest against the Minister for Housing and Land replying to my PNQ.
Let me.
Because that
Okay.
matter doesn't fall under his purview.
Let
under
me-
purview of the Minister for Local Government.
Everybody
That's
will
why
have to
I
wait.
asked my question
Okay.
to the Minister
let
responsible
me
for
cite-
local government.
Let me cite the relevant standing orders. Honourable members, I don't pretend after 1 year to know everything in the standing orders. I also make mistakes, and I also get a little bit carried away sometimes. I just want, now I've checked. Standing Order 22.4 says, decisions on the transfer of questions rest with ministers. You can't challenge that. Now, your supplementary question.
The other minister is paid to do his job. He's not doing his job, Madam Speaker.
That,
Now, my first,
that was uncalled for. Honourable friends, honourable members. I'm thinking of Julius Caesar, friends, Romans, countrymen. Today is presumably our last sitting. This time I'm careful. Let us try and keep some order. I cited you. You may not like it. There are lots of things that happen that we don't like. But you have to accept the standing orders. So ask him questions. He will reply. Don't take any notice of the other minister. Ask him questions.
In the meantime, I'd be very grateful, in the spirit of the goodwill,
Don't stand both
at
of
the
you.
end of the year, if the Honourable Leader of the Opposition could withdraw what he just said.
Oh, come on.
Because it's been insulting. Well, it would start with at least his good faith.
No, that's all right. Carry on.
Madam Speaker, will the Honourable Minister confirm first whether the whole exercise which was carried out by the various local authorities inviting expression of interest, was it open to the general public or to workers operating in those local authorities?
Said earlier on, the criteria that was established by the Interministerial Committee, and it is in my answer, unfortunately, most probably the Honourable Leader of the Opposition did not listen to that part or hear it, it's that it was open to people living within the jurisdiction of the relevant local authorities.
And my question is why, Madam Speaker, was it like this when the highlights of cabinet meeting on Friday, 29th November, states the following, Madam Speaker. Only hawkers residing in the jurisdiction covered by the local authority will be allowed to operate therein. My question is, why was it open to the general public?
Honourable Leader of the Opposition, we all understand what was meant and what the Honourable Minister just said. If it's in Beaubassin-Rosil, only those working in Beaubassin-Rosil, which happens to be my town, will be able to work in Beaubassin-Rosil. They won't come to Port-Louis, right? Is that what you're saying?
If I may, I mean, I understand that the Honourable Leader of the Opposition is playing on, if I may use the word, semantics. I mean, he understands, but he pretends not to. What I'm trying, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe the Honourable Prime Minister knows things I'm not aware of. But what I'm trying to get at is very simple. If someone is going to ply the trade of a hawker ou un marchand saisonnier, ou de rue.
Ambulants.
So that would
Oui.
be precisely those people referred to as hookers. That's all. So there's no need to complicate something that is very simple.
You just
But the problem, madam, this is what the problem is.
okay.
Will he confirm whether people who are not hawkers also applied?
Okay.
I am aware that people who are not usually hawkers
You mean all year round?
have also applied. And basically, when they've applied, and if they're granted the right, and they are applying that trade during that particular period, they qualify to be hawkers.
Yes.
Simple. So now I hope he's understood.
Don't
Possible, Madam
I
Speaker.
do
How can they be qualified to be hawkers only during that period? Will he confirm that only two criteria were requested? That is, the person should apply for only one site and be a resident of that area, and no other criteria. And will he agree that this is what is causing so much frustration
That is
among the regular
You have
hawkers?
two questions in one. First of all, the criteria.
Well,
Minister,
as I've said earlier on, I gave quite a long and detailed answer while keeping watch on the clock to allow him more time, because this is not what they used to do. But I would like to say that everything I've said in that answer also covers the aspect of criteria. And there are several issues that are the criterion there, and this is what I've already referred to. I referred the Honourable Leader of the Opposition to my answer I gave just a few seconds ago.
okay.
The night fair for the municipality of Port Louis will start operating tonight. Can the Honourable Minister confirm to the House whether the local government fees temporary provisions regulations 2025 has already been promulgated?
I am informed, according to the officers, that the necessary has been done. I have seen the draft document, and I'm sure that it has force of law already. As far as promulgation is concerned, it will be done by, at latest, the needful will be done by tomorrow morning.
In other words, they will operate today, and the law will be promulgated tomorrow, Madam Speaker.
Is that correct, Minister?
In fact,
this is the information.
you see, Madam Speaker, you see, I have the impression that the Honourable Leader of the Opposition... Don't interrupt me, for God's sake.
One moment, let me please.
I know, he's putting a question, but he does not want to listen to the answer. You see, what the Honourable Leader of the Opposition is trying to do, Madam Speaker, and if I may be allowed, he is trying all ways and means for this government not to allow those people to work, just like they did. Look at, please, let me go on. I know it doesn't allow you. When you look at it, he fails to understand that there are people whom this government, unlike his Prime Minister in 2016, who publicly stood up in a meeting in Plaine Verte and said, "Pas pour les autres travail." This is what his Prime Minister did. And we understand that the people of the cities and villages should be allowed to work. So as far as the Gazette is concerned, Madam Speaker, what he doesn't seem to be aware of, it is on Saturdays that those issues are gazetted. It's on Saturdays. He doesn't seem to be aware of it, and he was Minister for so long.
Come on.
Madam Speaker,
Mr. Honourable Jaman, I haven't heard your voice for a long time.
on a point of order, may I refer you to point of order 43, where it is stated, no member shall impute
Point of
improper motives to any
Not
other
point of
member.
order, you mean-
May I?
Standing order?
Yes,
Which one? You said point of order.
43,
43.
yeah?
Okay? Which says?
No member shall impute improper motives to any other member.
Yeah, it is a well-known one.
Yes.
Well-known.
May I then request the Honourable Minister to withdraw what he just said?
Withdraw, please, Minister.
I withdraw since it's never been my intention anyway to impute motives. I only want to state facts. So if the facts give the impression that that's the case, I apologize. But that's not what I meant to do. You see? I respect what your ruling is.
You didn't want to impute
No,
motives?
no, not at all.
So please sit down.
Yes.
Let's carry on. Please, Honourable.
Madam Speaker, I was continuing the reply.
You continue the reply.
Yes,
okay?
if I may. If I may.
Yes.
If I may.
It was on which question?
Okay,
Which
I'll
question?
ask him. Allow him.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition, please, I am not used to you speaking to me in a sitting position. Normally you stand up. You stand up normally. Please do that.
Can I put my other question, Madam
Yes,
Speaker?
yes.
Now, time is running out, Madam Speaker, since the festive season is only for a couple of weeks. Can the Honourable Minister inform the House whether the same arrangements which have been made for those operating in the capital city will be extended to other local authorities? And can you specify which additional roads, in the case of Port Louis, and regions, in the case of other local authorities, will be considered for more hawkers to be able to work during that festive period?
Madam Speaker, I have tabled all relevant documents, and one of the documents relates to his question, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition's question, Part D of the question, and the details are at Annex D. Thank you.
With regard to the municipality of Port Louis, one of the street which is being considered is Bourbon Street. Can the Honourable Minister confirm whether Bourbon Street fall within a radius of 500 meters of the central market of Port Louis, and I believe he must be aware that it is prohibited for hawkers to operate within that radius from the central market?
Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker,
I can't
if I may,
hear,
please.
I can't
Friends.
hear the Minister.
Madam Speaker, you see, as I had said earlier on, and now that I've understood, I mean, what I understand the Honourable Leader of the Opposition is doing is that he's saying, in his question, he wants to prohibit working on Bourbon Street or any place where it's within 500 meters. That's my understanding.
There is so much noise, you can't follow. At the same time, I'm getting 3 amended versions of a document. So, comment je vais faire? Je dois me concentrer sur les documents, je dois me concentrer sur... Alors, where are we, Honourable Leader of the Opposition? Tell me, what is your...
Question then, if they are saying that, how will the municipality of Port Louis ensure, and what are the arrangements that have been made so that the hawkers operate only during night time and will not operate during daytime?
Okay, good question.
Speaker, please.
Sure.
It's very simple.
It seems...
Madam Speaker, if I'm...
Honourable members,
Please, if I'm...
I know he has a big voice.
Minister of Local Government.
He's sitting down.
Yes, and everybody's shouting. So everybody's shouting. Everybody's shouting, and then you're surprised that I don't hear. Of course I can't hear if you're all shouting. Even if he has a great voice, I still couldn't hear you. Keep calm so I can listen to the Minister and to the Leader of the Opposition.
With regards to the issue of 500 meters, the Municipal Council of Port Louis has been very careful to take legal advice prior to making any decision. And the legal advice is quite clear on the matter. It has referred even to a specific court judgment, that of the Supreme Court, which was in relation to a concurrence déloyale matter.
Exactement.
And this concurrence déloyale matter obviously was applicable because they could not operate within the 500 meters at the same time, which therefore constituted concurrence déloyale. And as the Honourable Leader of the Opposition would understand, night starts as from the time that the sun is going down. I just wanted to clarify that. So obviously, since I have a lot of respect for hopefully the logic that he has, he understands that it's not operating at the same time. The market will be closed, so therefore there cannot be concurrence déloyale.
No, but his question
is how do you ensure?
That's part B of my answer now. Now, with regards to ensuring, it's very simple. The Municipal Council of Portruy have inspectors, they have police officers, they have enforcement agencies, the health inspectors. What they will do is that before 6 p.m., during the working hours, and from the moment that they leave, that is as from 1 to 2 a.m., the place will have to be cleaned up. That is why the additional money is being asked for, 150 to 500 rupees. Cleaned up, but for Portruy it's 150 rupees. It's going to be cleaned up. And once it's cleaned up, all the people who are operating on those roads will have to be put away. They're away, because then the parking spaces are used usually on Defoe Street, SSR Street. It's used normally. And then traffic is usual traffic. And then it is as from 6 that they're authorized to come at places and numbers that have already been demarcated. Very simple, structured, practical solution. So the Honourable Leader of the Opposition should not worry. We invite him to come there. I'm sure he will have quite a good deals there. And he will see that it's being done properly.
Okay. As for Maghrib then, as for Maghrib.
Just before.
We have to be worried, Madam Speaker. Is the Honourable Minister aware whether the Chief Health Inspector of the municipality of Port Louis gave a statement at the Popenesi police station yesterday afternoon because he had received death threats? Are you aware of that?
Will you be aware of that?
Madam Speaker, for one thing, I'm not aware of it. For two, that does not change in any way the decisions that government has taken in the interest of all hawkers, and interest of the public, and the interest of the inhabitants of all the towns and villages. Now, once again, I still have the impression he doesn't want this market fair to be organized. That's why he's trying to throw spanners in the wheel.
Don't impute motives, please.
I'm saying it's impression.
Leader of the Opposition.
Yes, can the Honourable Minister inform the House whether during consultations, because he chaired that interministerial committee, he was made aware of the concerns of shop owners on the issue of the unfair competition that this market will generate?
I have chaired that meeting. All those apprehensions attention has been brought to us. There were not only ministers, but also some elected members, backbenchers, who gave their views and helped in trying to find solutions, and I'm very thankful to all of them. And I must say that we have taken into account all those particular issues. We have also taken into account, Madam Speaker, the fact that the Victoria Urban Terminal, where people were sent there with the dream that they would be managed to be able to make a living there as hawkers, in fact, it is a dead end where people can't even work. Those are hawkers suffering there. And these are one of what work the MSM has done. I have to take that into account as well.
Minister, we are not talking of that issue for the moment.
It's connected.
No. Last question.
Can the Honourable Minister confirm if from the list of those who have been granted permits to operate, members of the same families have obtained more than one stall? And will he confirm that this situation does constitute an unfair advantage on other families who were eligible but have not been selected, Madam Speaker?
Madam Speaker, for one thing, the criteria was very simple. It was one stall per applicant. This has been adhered to, and this has not been departed from, strictly. Now, something else. It is also important to note that if it happens to be that there is a list in front of the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, we have been so transparent because we know that we have done things as it should be done. The Municipal Council of Portly, the Lord Mayor and their officers have adhered to strict measures, discipline, where they do not want to be accused and cannot be accused of any wrongdoing. Now, it is clear that there are people who may be unsatisfied for whatever reason. But in spite of that, the Lord Mayor has, together with the councillors and the officers, are trying to find ways and means of accommodating in line with what has been agreed. So there is, once again, a willingness, and not only a willingness, but a demonstrated willingness on the part of this government to show that we have heard the apprehensions of the traders, of the shop owners, of those who are now going to be the marchand, saisonnier, or occasional traders. We have also listened to the need for traffic for fluidity, emergency work, services to come in. We have looked at the rights of the inhabitants, the rights of shop owners. All of this have been put into the equation. And what we want to create now is what? The festive mood, the good mood. It comes back to the capital, it comes back to the towns, comes back to the cities and villages when it has been killed under their mandate.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Time is now up. You want to raise? Yes, Honourable Duval is going to raise his...
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, on a point of order, I wish to draw your attention to a breach of Standing Orders 42 by the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister during the sitting of Tuesday, 9 December 2025, when he directed towards me, Madam Speaker, the following unbecoming words, unbecoming, insulting and offensive words, bourrique, imbécile, bachara. The House will no doubt know that this is not the first occurrence, far from it, and I respectfully request that you direct the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister to withdraw these remarks and to apologise to the House.
I can only ask him to withdraw these words as per standing orders. Please do so nicely.
No, I withdraw.
You withdraw all three words. The three words mentioned. Deputy Prime Minister, I don't appreciate that.
Festive mood, festive mood.
I am far from provoking you. You haven't tested me yet.
Motion.
Motion, Prime
Madam
Minister.
Speaker, I beg to move that all the business on today's order paper be exempted from the provisions of paragraph 2 of Standing Order 10.
The question is that all the business on today's order paper be exempted from the provisions of paragraph 2 of Standing Order 10. Those in favour say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Statement by ministers.
Prime Minister.
Yeah, Madam Speaker, with your permission, I have two statements to make. First of all, I wish to make a statement relating to the various very serious incidents that took place at Melrose Prison on the 9th of December 2025, resulting in the death of an inmate, Andy Selmo, at about 20-25 hours on the same day. Madam Speaker, information provided to my office by the Commissioner of Prisons and the Commissioner of Police has revealed some very alarmingly disturbing facts. Immediate action was taken to interdict Superintendent of Prisons, Mr. Gobardhan Buldeu, and Assistant Superintendent of Prisons, Vijay Singh Jari. I'm also informed that 4 detainees who allegedly participated in the assault on Andy Selmo have been identified through CCTV footage, and they have been transferred to other prisons for their own security. I'm further informed that the CID team led by Assistant Superintendent of Police, Cindy Yan, has already started an inquiry. So far, 15 statements from prison officers, prison's health officers, and several detainees have already been recorded. Strict instructions have been given to the police that this inquiry be completed in the shortest delay possible, and the file will then be referred to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions for necessary action. Madam Speaker, what has happened at the prison is simply revolting. What is equally unacceptable is that this incident took place at the same prison where serious disturbances took place a few months ago on the 17th of July 2025. I present my sincere condolences to the family of the victim, and I wish to give them the assurance that we shall do all that is possible to bring to justice all those responsible for the death of Andy Salmo. In view of the very disturbing circumstances surrounding the death of Andy Salmo, I'm setting up a board of inquiry under Section 31A of the Public Inquiries Act to inquire into the case. The board of inquiry will be presided by former judge Mr. Paul Lam Shanlin, who has been consulted and who shall be appointed to act alone on such terms and conditions as will be decided in Section 8(1) and 2 of Public Inquiries Act. I will make a further statement to the House as soon as reasonably practicable as regard to the terms of reference of the Board of Inquiry in line with Section 6.1, 6.2, and 6.3 of the Public Inquiries Act.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Your second statement?
Yes, Madam Speaker, with your permission, I would like to make a statement on the salary compensation 2026. It will be recalled that at the meeting of the Tripartite Technical Committee held under the chairmanship of Honourable Minister of Labour and Industrial Relations on the 26th of November 2025, Statistics Mauritius informed that the inflation rate for the year 2025 is estimated at 3.7%. Yesterday, the Tripartite Committee meeting on salary compensation was held under my chairmanship to consider the proposals from workers and employers' representatives and propose the quantum of salary compensation to be paid as from the 1st of January 2026. Representative of employees proposed a monthly salary compensation ranging from 855 rupees to 1,792 rupees across the board. On the other hand, Business Mauritius proposed that a salary compensation of 3.7% be paid only to employees earning a monthly basic salary of up to 18,000 rupees. Madam Speaker, in view of the current fiscal situation and to restore the purchasing power of employees, Government has decided to award a monthly salary compensation of 635 rupees, which is equivalent to 3.7% of the national minimum wage of 17,110 rupees to employees drawing a monthly basic salary of up to 50,000 rupees. The 50,000 rupees threshold is consistent with last year's policy decision for salary compensation and payment of the 14th month bonus. Some 409,400 employees will benefit from the salary compensation, of which 89,100 is in the public sector and 320,300 in the private sector. 88% of employees in the economy will therefore benefit from the salary compensation. The annual cost of the salary compensation is estimated at 3.38 billion rupees, of which 740 million will be for the public sector and 2.64 billion rupees for the private sector. Madam Speaker, despite the tight fiscal situation, Government is making an exceptional effort in favor of our senior citizens and the most vulnerable groups of our society. Government has also decided to grant an increase of 3.7% to all beneficiaries of basic pensions as from the 1st of January 2026. These include beneficiaries of basic retirement pension, basic widow's pension, basic invalidity pension, and orphan pension. Furthermore, Government is extending the increase to all eligible beneficiaries of income support, that is, those having reached 60 years but not eligible for the BRP. These measures will cover more than 350,000 beneficiaries and will cost 2.4 billion rupees annually. Madam Speaker, in line with our policy focused on compassion and inclusiveness, we are making today this effort despite the very difficult economic and fiscal context and our commitment on fiscal consolidation. I also wish to inform the House, Madam Speaker, that I intend to make a statement on the Pay Research Bureau report 2026 next week.
Thank you.